They had me do that the other day.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
Do it. This is what I watched the video. Now you have to do it here.
Okay, hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
Yay.
Just for you, Helen. We're taping in B1 this morning instead of our usual A3 because I had a mic issue yesterday. But today we're going to see a lot of what we've been working on all year with marking our text. Because even Engage New York, with all of their fallacies and issues, understand the importance of doing this, especially as you're translating from English to math, which is our biggest goal today. Last class we did both ways. Today we are strictly focusing on English to math. So you can see our opening exercise, the whole piece is underlining keywords in each statement. So basically it's saying mark your text. That means circle numbers and units, underline key math terms. You don't have any boxing because the directions are actually right here. So it's the same directions. You got 6 of them to do. I'll give you 2 minutes. Go. Bless you. Okay, this one should have gone pretty quick. Remember, we're underlining math terms. Sum. Twice, honestly, you could either circle or underline. I'd be okay with either one. Because what does twice mean? Multiply by 2. So it actually gives us an operation and a number. So I would take either type of circling on that. B and 5. You should circle it. And I gave you instruction and said, just like we've been doing all year, underline the math term, circle the numbers and units. I know, that's why we need to show more practice, Jaron. Okay, quotient of C and D. A raised to the 5th power and then increased by the product of 5 and C. Quantity of A plus B divided by 4. 10 less than tells me 2 things. What 2 does it tell me, guys? Subtract and flip. So that means that the minus 10 is going to come at the end of anything else that I have written. Okay? So the product of 15 and C. 5 times D and then increased by 8. Then increased is telling you something specific. What's it telling me? So what do I do mathematically to make you do something first? So it means I need some kind of grouping symbol on that first set. Make sense? Okay. So you got some practice. Now you actually get to do it. I paused. Okay. Guys, practice again. Practice marking your text. But now I want you to actually write the expressions as well. The model is what we're doing with the expression. That's modeling. Yeah, now you actually write the expression. Before we just mark the text. Now we're actually writing the expression. Guys. Okay, let's do this one. We have the sum of twice B and 5. Mean 2B plus 5. Quotient, C and D, that's just a straight up division. C divided by D. Honestly, I don't care if you write it as a fraction or with a division sign. I'll be honest, you're going to be more likely to get it correct if you use a fraction bar. Because that fraction bar acts as a grouping symbol in all of these cases. Where if you don't have the parentheses correctly with the division sign, you're going to end up getting it wrong. So my personal preference, guys, would be to use the division. Okay, A raised to the 5th power and then increased by the product of 5 and C. A raised to the 5th power and then increased, that means added, by the product of 5 and C. Do I have to have parentheses around the 5C? Why not? Good. So I don't necessarily have to have those parentheses. Would it be counted wrong if I put parentheses there? Nope. Because they are grouped together, so it's not bad to put the parentheses, but because of order operations, I wouldn't necessarily have to have them in this case. Because the order operations, I'm going to have to multiply before I add anyway. Watch. So we have the quantity of A plus B divided by 4. So I have A plus B divided by 4. This is why I said it's actually easier if you'll use the division bar. Because do I have to have the parentheses if I use the division bar? No, because the division bar is a grouping symbol. Okay? Now, do I have to have the parentheses in this case? Yes. Why?
Because you do division before addition.
Because I would do division before addition, so I would do b divided by 4 and then add a, which I don't want to do because I want the quantity. That the quantity, as soon as you see that word, guys, start thinking parentheses. Because quantity is, they're basically saying you got to put these numbers together. No?
How do you know to put A and A plus B in parentheses?
Because it says the quantity. As soon as it says quantity, that's a huge red flag that I'm looking at parentheses. Okay?
That you're looking at.
E, 10, less than the product of 15 and C. Less than, two key things, subtracting and a flipping phrase. Meaning that the first thing in my expression should be the 15C and then 10 less than that. Do I need parentheses on that one? No, because again, I'll multiply before I subtract. 5 times D and then increased by 8. 5 times D and then increased by 8. Now, normally when I see something like and then increased, that's telling me I need to do a parenthesis because it's saying I have to do the other thing first. But again, because I'm multiplying before I add, you don't necessarily have to have it in this one. Is it starting to make more sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Good. Because now we're going to give you full word problems and let you model it. Okay?
Do only these three or also this?
The other page as well. So you're going to go all the way down to the exercises. You have 6 problems to do.
Do we do the exercise?
No, we'll do those next, but right now we're just doing this part. Okay, I'm going to go through quickly because we still got quite a bit more to do and we're running out of time. So Marcus has 4 more dollars than Yasin. Y is the amount of money Yasin has. Write the expression. More than, flipping phrase. Y plus 4. Mario is missing half of his assignments. If A represents the number of assignments, write an expression. Show how many he's missing. Half means what?
2.
Specifically 2, divide by 2. So you can write that one either way, is fine.
Mark, can I show you something?
Nope, Camila's weight has tripled since her first birthday. If W represents the amount she weighed on her first birthday, write an expression to show how much Camilla weighs now. 3W, baby. First year would be a baby. Okay, next page. Nathan brings cupcakes to school, gives them to 5 of his best friends who share them equally. If C represents the number of cupcakes Nathan brings to school, write an expression. Show how many cupcakes each of his friends get. Division. Either way is fine. Miss Marcus combines her atlases and dictionaries and then divides them among 10 different tables. If A represents the number of atlases, D represents the number of dictionaries Miss Marcus has, write an expression to show how many books would be on each table. So this one is really important because I have to add them first and then divide it by 10. You could also use the division symbol. But if you use the division symbol, you must have the parentheses.
D plus A isn't wrong.
That'd be okay, but you should do it the way it's written. It says atlases and dictionaries. So again, the way they write it in English, we should try to stay as true to that as we can. To improve in basketball, Ivan's coach told me he needs to take 4 times as many free throws and 4 times as many jump shots every day. If F represents the number of free throws and J represents the number of jump shots Ivan takes, write an expression to show how many shots he will need to take in order to improve in basketball. This one, I would actually take 2 different ways to do this. So you can either do this as for F and for J, or you could say, you know what, he's doing 4 times the number of free throws and jump shots that he's doing every day. Either one's acceptable. Question, Helen?
No, I was gonna say on the I don't know on the other page. Is it like is it okay if we write something above like if we didn't do it? Because it's I did it and then I wrote I by 2.
That's fine. That's just like a little note to yourself.
And also are we supposed to do
Yes, that's what we're doing right now. Okay, you have 10 exercises, 1 through 10 on this and the next page. I will give you 4 minutes. Go. Okay. Quiet, please. Okay, I'm going to go fast because we're down to 8 minutes and we still have quite a bit to go through. So on this one, B decreased. Guys, seriously, Gus, you need to stop. By c squared. B decreased by c squared. Next page. 24 divided by the product of 2 and a. 24 divided by the product of 2 and a. Do I have to have parentheses on that one?
Yes.
Yes. Because otherwise I would do the 24 divided by 2 first. If I do the division symbol, it's actually easier because the 2a is where it's supposed to be. 150 decreased by the quantity of 6 plus b. Quantity is a huge word, guys, because it's telling me parentheses. I have to have 6 and b together. Sum of twice c and 10. So twice c and 10. Sum means I'm adding. Marlo had 35, but then spent m. 35 minus m. There we go. Saved her money, was able to quadruple. We haven't really talked about that one. Hopefully you guys understand that means times 4. Okay, Veronica increased her grade G by 4 points and then doubled it, meaning I need to have those together. Technically, if you wrote the 2 first and then the G plus 4, that would also be acceptable because the grouping symbol means I have to add them first. Abdel had M, 8, 5, and then split the remaining equally among 4 friends. So I had M, I 8, 5, and then I divided it equally among the 4. If you want to use the division symbol, you just have to make sure you use the parentheses. To find out how much paint is needed, he must square the side length S of the gate and then subtract 15. So S squared and then subtract 15. Lewis bought X, Faith bought D, and Deshaun bought H cans to the party. How many cans did they bring all together? Meaning I need to add X, D, and H. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
For number 7, so you know how you say always put the number before the letter, but when it comes to parentheses, you always write it in the formation that I already did.
Yeah, I said on that one you could do it either way, but the number is not directly with the variable. So if it's a number times a variable, the number must always come first. If I'm adding, it doesn't matter. Then it's just the order it was written.
So I have to do 4 plus G or G plus 4.
Whichever way it was written, yes, because it's adding. It's only when multiplying that the number must always come first.
So 4 plus G is 5.
4 plus G isn't wrong. I'd give you half credit because of community property of addition, but it's written G plus 4. The order it's written is the way you should translate it. Then you're okay. Okay, here's your first page of homework. Note the first thing in the directions. Mark the text. If you don't mark the text, I finally have direct permission to take points away from you guys because it's in the directions. So mark the text, write an expression using variables. Pretty easy. You guys are supposed to have 10 minutes to do this. Unfortunately, we have 6 minutes left in class, so I'll split the time. You guys get 3, and then I'll take 3 to show you the answers. Go. Okay, the sum of A and B should be pretty straightforward. We're just adding 5 more than, quick flipping phrase, a number C, meaning I do twice C and then add the 5. Next one, Martha bought D number of apples and then ate 6. So I'm just taking 6 away from that number. 14 decreased by P. That one's just straight up, no flipping phrases. Total D and F, that's telling me to add. And then I'm going to divide it by 8. So if I use the division bar, it's very simple. If I want to use the division symbol, I just have to add the parentheses. Number 3, Rashad scored 6. Less than, that's a flipping phrase. 3 times as much as Mike, which was B. So I know it's a flipping phrase. So the 6 less is going to come afterwards. Quotient means divide, C and 6. Again, it doesn't matter which format you use. Just make sure you're using one of them. Triple means times 3. Sum of X and 17. So I have 3X. Actually, 3 times the sum of X and 17. So I need to add the parentheses in there. Gabrielle has B buttons, but then lost 6, took the remaining buttons and split them equally among her 5 friends. So I have the b, I lost 6, and then I'm dividing it between the 5. b minus 6 divided by 5. Next page. D doubled, that means times 2. 3 more than, flipping phrase, 4 times the number x, 4x minus 3. Mally has c, doubles the amount, and then gives away 15. So I have to double that amount and then give away the 15. F cubed, remember, that's the power of 3. Squared is power of 2. Cubed is power of 3. Quantity of 4 increased by a. Then sum is divided by 9. So that means I'm adding it and then dividing by 9. You guys can go ahead and go while I finish off the video. Don't forget your last page of homework. It's just what we're doing right here. Ty earned 4 points, fewer than double Odin's points. Owen earned P. So I have 2P, and then subtract the 4. Please keep it down as you're coming in so I can finish off the video. The difference between D and A just means I'm subtracting. 6 less than, that's a flipping phrase, the sum of D and 9. So I need to add those first and then take 6 less. Technically, I wouldn't have to have the parentheses in that case because order of operations, I'd do the D plus 9 first anyway. Adeline has X and S shirts. She combined them, meaning add, sold half, meaning I'm dividing it by 2. How many items did she sell? So I take my X, I add the S, and then I divide it by 2. Again, if you want the division symbol, you must have the parentheses in there as well. Homework, pretty simple. Guys, I'm doing the video right now. Again, write an expression using letters and or numbers for each problem. It doesn't specifically say marking the text. However, I do highly recommend it because some of these get pretty intricate. You only got 10 problems. Shouldn't be too hard for you guys. Good luck. If you need help, remember, you can always come in at seminar. Good luck, guys.